kind of battling with trigger finger right now. It feels okay. It feels a lot better today than it did, let's say, yesterday playing.
Yeah, I'm pretty upset at myself for those last 2 holes especially. So yeah, I'm pretty pissed at myself for that. I know in 10 minutes I'm gonna feel fine, but right now I'm a little pissed. I'm gonna be thinking about the missed putt though, if I'm being honest.
I feel good. Hit the gaps and made putts.
I mean, I'm feeling great. You know, we never really know coming back each year. You know, the field's getting better. 4 under might have been good previously, but it's hard to know, you know, and because I've been out here so many times, I just expected everything to be pretty much the same. I got to 18, which we have played in the past, a variation of it, and I don't know, I just thought it was a par 4, so that's how I was attacking it in practice, and yeah, it was kind of a nice trick that I played on myself a little bit, so yeah.
Hello and welcome to round 2 of the 2024 PDGA Champions Cup presented by Bushnell. This is our second major of the year. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We're your 2 hotkeys.
Honk. If you're confused and haven't been paying any attention at all, welcome to the world. We had a massive rain delay. Everything's wild. You know, there aren't words. Let's just watch, actually. This is round 2. It, as you can see in the B-roll, is going to be rainy. Let's check out our lead card here. Silva Saarinen hitting the fairway 91% of the time, landing in circle 2 in regulation 61% and 100% C1X putting. We got to see her last week at Music City Open, and I'm excited to see her again.
Valerie Mandujano, no stranger to doing well at woods courses. She's 86% of the time finding the fairway unbelievable at Northwood's Black. 44% of the time giving herself a look from circle 2 and making 92% of her circle 1X putts.
Big money Missy always does well at Ledgestone, and these courses out here, 77% fairway hits, circle 2 in regulation at 50% and 92% C1X putting.
Last but not least, Holyn Handley, 34% of the holes she is birdieing in 2024. Circle 2 in regulation, she's 65%, and 76% of the time she's making her circle 1X putting.
Valerie, Missy, and Holyn all tied at 4 down. Silva in the lead at 5 down. Hole 1 is a par 3, 455 feet downhill. We only saw 1 birdie on it yesterday. We've seen very few in years past. You can just see all the technical challenges. Shooting down from a hill, there's OB all along the left side, though they did add a wall. There is also a kind of a backstop there, which is kind of nice for approaches if you're coming in too hot. You see a lot of backhand flip-ups and sidearms that bail out to the right, which is all safe and in bounds. Let's immediately check in with our
Third card.
Third card? Yeah.
Rachel Turton must be starting out the round in style. She's even par on hole 1, which is pretty typical, and just kicking things off with a tap-in birdie on hole 2. Being under par at Northwoods at any moment is enough to make you skyrocket up the leaderboard.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the 2024 PDGA Champions Cup Disc Golf Tournament. On behalf of the presenting sponsor, Bushnell, the PDGA, and the Ledgestone team, we welcome you to Northwood Park. This is the lead card for FPO. First off the tee box, from OT, Finland, Silva Saarinen.
You can see with all the layers, it was pretty chilly this morning. Nice brisk wind.
Yeah, it was in the 30s for the earlier tee times, maybe creeping up into the lower 40s at this point.
Yeah.
But very cold and a pretty nice chilly north wind as well.
So it drops into the center. That's good enough.
From San Antonio, Texas, Valerie Mandujano.
Valerie winning Idlewild last year. She's really talented in the woods, really great shot shaping through tree-lined fairways, both forehand and backhand.
And good at dealing with injuries. I mean, at Idlewild, she was coming back from an ankle injury. I know she's been dealing with that trigger finger that she mentioned for a while now. Ooh.
Nice reaction.
Gets a kick and the wall saves her.
From Beacon, New York, Missy Gannon.
This is the Missy hole.
Yeah, she should have a little plaque or something. Going Z Jawbreaker Thrasher. Looking really good. Ooh, or is it? Dang.
Rounding out the lead card from Grapevine, Texas, Holyn Handley.
That faded pretty hard for a Thrasher.
Is Holyn throwing a distance driver here?
That is a titanium Undertaker, so
Okay.
fairway.
But attack.
Ooh,
Oh, no.
Slip.
Oh. So much. Oh.
There's a lot
Gosh.
happening. I think she's safe.
Silva with a lot more of a typical look at this hole, about halfway down the fairway with a little approach left. Yesterday it was the third most difficult hole of the day with only one birdie. Today it's the seventh most difficult.
Probably from more pars, though, rather than more birdies, I would guess.
Yep.
We'll find out. Holyn trying to throw a turnover sidearm. It does fade out a little bit at the end. She's going to be on circle's edge with a tester to start the round. Yeah, Valerie said that that trigger finger mostly is affecting her putt. But
Strange.
yeah, that sounds pretty rough to deal with, especially, I'd imagine, in the cold. Any injury in the cold.
So no birdies from our lead card. There were no birdies on the day as well. Pretty classic hole one.
Holyn from circle's edge. Gonna miss low.
This hole is especially frustrating to bogey, but almost 35% of the field getting a bogey or worse.
Valerie not quite getting it high enough to get in the basket. Silva from just outside the bullseye for par. There we go.
This is one that you just kind of have to put your head down and move past because it is a challenging hole for being a downhill par 3.
I feel like you could say that about all the holes out here.
Yeah.
Just head down. Just keep it down. Don't even look up.
Don't ever look up.
Just look at the wildflowers and
And if you
just
look
do your
up,
best.
sometimes if you look up, your hat flies off because it's so windy.
yeah, not quite yet, but spoiler.
Another check-in with the chase card now. Henna Bloomroos attacking hole 2, the hole we just watched Rachel Turton play on the third card. Henna just short of the landing zone, but she's still got a patent pending shot, and looks like she's going to attack the second part of this fairway.
Oh, yeah. Man, she's world class at that shot. Nice little tree reaction, too.
You can hear the rain starting up as well. Nice birdie.
Yeah, hole 2 has my number, man.
Me
I
too.
think I've bogeyed it every day.
Me too.
It's
And
hard.
It's one of my favorite holes,
Yeah.
but it just, even with the great tee shot, getting up the second half of that fairway can be really difficult
Yeah, especially if your head is down and you're not looking at what you're doing.
at the fairway.
Here
This
it is again.
Yeah, it's 505 feet. The first shot is more of a sawed-off backhand, turnover-y, maybe a forehand, but it's a weird line. Your second shot, ideally, is in this landing zone. You get to go really far down to the basket. Congrats to the Patreon winner.
Kate Morrison.
Yeah, you did it. You won a disc, a practice round disc. Yay.
Great, yeah. We are legitimately stoked for you. We're just tired, but congratulations.
That second part of the fairway where Kate Morrison was winning, a lot of people are losing.
Oh, man. Oh, no.
Oof.
That is... Ew. I gotta look up some synonyms for nightmare, you know, like
Yeah.
I'm using the same words every time, but it's not good over there. Valerie with a really nice looking line with a vortex does get a little bit of a roll and is going to be pinched, but I think lined up to the gap nicely.
We'll just keep a thesaurus in front of us.
Oh, we should.
Just use really wild words.
That would be fun. Missy with a mantis pushes a little more straight maybe than you'd like, but she'll have something to work with.
Holyn with a great line. That also is fading out a little bit more, but being in the edge of the woods right there doesn't necessarily take away your ability to par the hole. Just makes birdie a lot tougher.
Definitely easier. Oh, Silva catches a tree and still has a lot of work to get out of there. We'll call it a nightmare now.
Mm-hmm.
Missy looking like she's getting aggressive here. Gonna go turnover. A little two turned and bad reaction. Same tree for Silva.
Holyn forced to take a step out sidearm approach, and she overturns it as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, Valerie.
Everyone, I mean,
don't get me wrong, conditions were rough out there.
I mean, I watched so many people take doubles and triples on the first like 4 or 5 holes of the round.
Yeah.
It was just hard to get warmed up, and with the looming rain, and it just was a very weird start to the day after wearing shorts all week.
By looming rain, what Madison is talking about is a giant storm wall, all the colors of the rainbow on the radar, with lightning just
Imminent. A really nice little technical out from Holyn. She's around circle 2, looking at a putt for par.
Missy's third, finds a little tiny gap, but is going to find the opposite side of the rough, though she's somewhere in circle 2 land.
And
she seems cool with it.
This is like just weird to watch our lead card struggle so much right here, but this hole does get the best of a lot of people. 50% of the field taking a bogey or worse. It averaged at a half stroke over par. There were only 6 birdies out of 48 competitors.
This is just one of those holes that, like a lot of them out here, if you were to just kind of chill and play for par, you can make it look, you know, not so hard. But when you get aggressive, oof.
And it is birdieable too, so it's hard not to be aggressive. Also, just imagine like waking up and immediately like having to jump onto a trampoline. Like it's like you're straight into the gauntlet. You don't get to walk at all. You're just like immediately in the flames.
In the flames on the trampoline? Yeah. I got lost in the analogy.
It's wild.
I'm not sure where we are.
I also did.
Holyn going to keep it to a single bogey. That was a nice little forehand sky roller out. I don't know what to call that. It was cool. Valerie with a par there, taking strokes on folks. Single bogey for Missy. Silva looking at a triple. And her lead is gone.
Triples, quads, quints, you will see them all at Northwood's Brews.
Valerie gonna jump the whole card with that one. Kristen Tatar is even on the round through 4, which is enough to jump her into a tie for first with Valerie as well. Hole 3, we skipped a couple holes from previous years. This is old hole 5. It's a U-shaped hole, par 5, 790 feet. You can get as far down as this first tunnel as you can. Second shot, you are trying to wrap this corner. It's pretty technical. Most common mistakes are short left, ending up in those trees, or pushing too deep. And then the last shot, you are trying to, hopefully you're set up to throw down this last tunnel. It's not the longest of shots. I believe the 250-foot stake is kind of right at that corner once you wrap around it. So it's not the distance that's the problem, but it is tough to get into position to go for birdie.
Yeah, even though this fairway looks really wide, it's a surprisingly small landing zone to be able to attack. Crashing into those trees on the right side actually is not a bad play.
I think better than the left, generally.
Even better than being in the left side of the fairway in the wide open.
Yeah, the left side, you just can't get around the corner from the left very easily. Like, you have to deal with these trees, the angle's not there.
Yeah, even where Missy is with a, a wide open stance, it's going to be tough to get far enough left on her second shot.
So the rain isn't too bad yet, but we are hearing some rumblies of thunder at this point. Everyone's looking to the sky nervously. Holyn's going to end up really close to Missy on that left side.
A great shot from Silva with a nice right turning shot for most of the flight.
Pretty.
A little fade at the end, and that was some good distance as well.
Yeah, that was her neutron crave. Wow.
Wow.
All right.
And that's why she's on the lead card.
Sick.
Such a technical shot with really demanding angle.
And you can see this is what we're talking about here. The angle's just not quite there for Holyn to wrap around the corner. She ends up pushing too far into the right side.
Silva also, she needs to go hard left way before the spotter. She gets
she caught a tree maybe?
Yeah, weird reaction off a tree. Going deep isn't bad, but it does really extend the uphill angle of the third shot.
Footing can be tough down there too. Missy trying to swing her own hyzer in, and I think, is it rolling? I think that was a good play to kind of take some off and just try to hit a landing zone.
Holyn not trying to get too crazy here. If you push too far straight, this hole gets really hard really fast. There's a gully over there that's extremely difficult to get out of. So she says, I'm just going to play this one for par.
Missy lined up to one of the gaps. I swear that tree is just my enemy. I like to land right behind it. Ooh. Missy keeping it pretty close to the left side of the fairway. She's going to have a putt for birdie.
Valerie in a really great spot to attack.
Yeah, you really see the third shot from such a good position.
Comes close to turning it too much and going in the gully, but she checks up in the little sea of trees just short and right on the green.
Silva with a similar play here, overturning it. Gonna have some little trees to contend with on the putting green. Holyn throwing 4. She's probably 175 feet away, something like that.
With somehow the scariest approach shot at Northwood Black, dead straight and wide open. You're like, what am I doing here?
What is this?
How did I get here?
Do you see
what
that
do I do?
Disc spin on that branch? It's pretty sick. Valerie laying up for par. Let's see if Silva can get some green on the scorecard. Gosh, look how dark it is. Wow, she's such a good putter.
Dang, what a bounce back too.
The mitten wave is also very good. I hope we get to see that in slow motion.
Such a pure putt, dead center.
Ready? Dang it. She did it. She waved with her mitten.
Silva's one of only 5 birdies today. This hole always plays hard, but that still puts it only in the middle of the pack.
Great putt from Missy, too, converting on the birdie from out of position. And tough start for Holyn, going 3 bogeys in a row.
Some smart decision making there, but bummer when it does not pay off.
Yeah, then you're like, might as well get aggressive sometimes. Silva and Missy carding their first birdies. Let's check in with the chase card here. Henna ahead on the 5th hole. This is a short par 3 downhill 307 feet. going over OB, and Henna absolutely parks this thing.
This is such a small gap, and you have to tee off from the left side of the tee pad to open it up, but it's still only, what, 6 feet wide, 8 feet wide? It's
teeny tiny.
It is.
And back-to-back fins lacing the gap.
We love to see it. Best friend birdie.
That's so cute. And I think in the distance I'm hearing 3 blasts of an air horn.
It's right now, right? It has to be.
It is right now. Just imagine it as we head into this commercial break.
What is the simplest way to improve your disc golf game? The answer, learn from the very best. Paul Ulibarri, Simon Lizotte, Ezra Aderhold, and Holyn Handley. They're not just players, they are your elite coaches guiding you every step of the way. The Power Disc Golf Academy is the premier online disc golf academy with over 150 on-demand lessons that are specifically designed to improve your skills right now. So what are you waiting for? Join today at PowerDGA.com.
Hole 4, there's an out-of-bounds line all the way down the right-hand side that you can find if you catch any of the trees. It's a very specific shot shape, but not really one that a disc does. This is kind of a little bit of a throw-in hope hole and deal with what putt you have. There's out-of-bounds on the right-hand side of the fairway that can come into play if you catch any tree and kick hard right.
Can you believe that ad break was 5 hours? These ladies have been off the course for 5 hours. It is now 3:30 p.m.
What a change. And look at that wind. It sure picked up during those 5 hours. Found somewhere to come from.
Yeah, look at all the trees just like swaying in the background. Oh, wow. What a great shot from Silva.
So this hole is challenging even in calm conditions, but having a crosswind makes the angle control required to hit this gap really difficult. But look at Valerie Mandujano.
So good. It was so crazy to have all of this wind coming off of the fields. I mean, we're used to being here in the summer and it being pretty calm and having a lot more foliage. So to play one of the hardest woods courses that exists in this country and then adding 15 to 20 mile per hour winds was just felt like a circus.
It sure did.
Look at it.
All your game plans are just out the window.
No plans, just chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm just going to emphasize one more time. It's been 5 hours. Mm-hmm. I've never had a break that long.
We had enough time to go back to our Airbnb and watercolor paint.
Yeah, it was really stressful, actually. Just trying to build the drama. Don't tell them how nice it was. Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh. She's so good.
Man, that's into pretty much a straight headwind. Maybe a slight crosswind, but wow.
Talk a slight little coy smile as well.
Oh, we love it.
We sure do. I could watch Valerie play all day.
I could watch that little smile all day. Look at her go. Silva has this tree on the right to contend with just a little bit, but she has a pretty linear putt, and it's not even a big deal to birdie this hole.
She straddles out towards the tree.
Yeah.
I don't understand the methods, but I love the results.
Uh-huh. Agreed. Missy missing a really short one. Low. Pretty similar distance coming back here. Dealing with a left to right wind.
It's weird. They give us time to warm up before the round, and you're able to warm your putt up, but like it was very cold. I don't think I can tell you how cold it was right here.
People were also scrambling to catch the shuttle to get to their hole, whatever it is.
Yeah, we had about 30 minutes to get all of that done. And yeah, you can see Holyn holding her hat on it. It's crazy how many times my hat blew off in the woods.
Okay, but Valerie and Silva just birdieing it like no big deal.
They were 2 of only 6 birdies on the day too, so wild.
Hole 5, we just saw our chase card play, downhill 307 feet. All of this area is out of bounds. You can see the staked area that keeps extending all the way down the right side of this fairway. You can reach this one pretty easily with a mid-range or even a putter. You do occasionally see fast speed discs. There's technically a couple gaps, but everyone's aiming for the one. Let's see if I can point it out on the right there. Kind of the largest one in the middle that's not that one.
No, Silva went between the two towers, which happens a surprising amount of times.
Yeah, it does. And she lands safe. If you do not land safe, it is a mandatory drop zone. That is about, what, 80 feet away?
Valerie.
Oh, yes.
Hitting the gap, but coming in so hot.
So hot right now.
Mm-hmm.
Valerie going meteor there. Oh, no. Ooh, lucky.
Oh,
so lucky.
Oh.
Unlucky? Now I don't know what's happening.
What did she throw? Look at the window.
It's a tail. This is a tailwind, by the way. That was an Athena, and she has way too much power to be throwing fairway driver as hard as she can. This is wild.
That was pure chaos.
Yeah. Missy not getting quite as lucky there.
The wind is so cold, too. I can't explain how cold that wind is. Holyn's choice of fairway driver is blowing my mind.
It feels silly. It feels silly. But we're not there.
No.
And it was a lot of wind. Look at, she's coming back. That's where the MPO basket is down there. What? This is something no one has ever practiced. Once again, yes, we realize she's on lead card and we are not, but it is funny.
Yeah.
Valerie not really left with anything. It looks like they're on the putting green, lays up. I wish we could. We should probably talk about it less, but I don't think people understand how hard this was out here today.
Yeah, trying to get
trying
to get your focus back after already waking up really early, and it was hard too because you crack your hand warmers in the morning and then you forget to put new ones in your pockets.
Oh,
and
sure.
It's right as they're running out of steam is right now.
Really specific example there.
There was only 8 birdies on hole 5 today, less than we normally see.
Ooh, I love the slow-mo rain shot. It's also nice because you can actually see the rain a little bit more. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't really look that bad on screen, but it is.
It looks pretty bad.
It was worse than it looks, though.
Yeah, it was. Hole 6, 564, another par 4. Really love this hole. You need to carry dead straight for a long time and then just have the gentlest little fade to right here, ideally setting up perfectly for your second shot. I love a forehand on this shot because I like to work up the left side, but if you want to, you can throw a backhand up for whatever reason, one of the hardest gaps on the course to hit that little 15 to 20 foot gap just before entering circle 2 of the screen. You need about 300 feet, I'd say, to get to the perfect landing zone.
Yeah, a little more is nice, but 300 is about right for sure.
Silva right around 280 and filtering off to the left. It is pretty brutal over there. There is not much to work with.
It kind of baits you, though. Mm-hmm. You kind of feel like you can still get there or at least bite off some good distance.
And I am just a simple fish that took the bait today.
Oh, poor thing. It's nice, shiny hook with a nice wiggling little,
it's a little hungry
little insect on it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Valerie hitting the landing zone pretty perfectly. A little bit of a crosswind here. You can't feel it as much as the last hole, but it was the left to right wind. One thing about the way all of the trees are right now without the foliage is the wind. It causes the wind to swirl a good bit. It's really difficult to know when it's going to gust and from what direction. It's not very consistent.
Looks pretty though on camera, right? Everything blowing around, all the green.
Silva finding a gap though.
Wow.
Yeah, that was very impressive.
No one's hooking that fish today. I don't really know fishing terminologies.
Yeah. You didn't need to say that.
Yeah. You're right.
This is a pretty typical play, just kind of throwing something as hard as you can at this gap and dealing with whatever comes of it, because it is the harder you try to hit that middle gap, this is what happens. It's crazy how weird your shot can get.
Missy definitely early releases. It looked like it slipped right out of her hand, honestly. This looks great, though. No way.
Oh my
man.
goodness.
That would have been an absolutely insane birdie. What a correction.
Just dead center.
I like that her arms are up. Like, it was such a pure line.
I like how it was slow enough that it didn't kick wildly off. It's just right in the bullseye.
Valerie chips her forehand just a little bit deep. She's about 20 feet away.
Thankfully checks up short of the vernal pond on the green.
Oh. Vernal.
Okay.
Oh, right.
This is why she's on lead card. Silva's putting when on is dangerous.
Holyn for birdie from circle's edge. Ooh, vernal pond.
Mm-hmm. This played as the fourth easiest hole of the day. There were 9 birdies, but only 21% of the field taking bogeys.
It is interesting because at least for these first handful of holes, the majority of the stats are from a time that was easier to play in this morning without so much wind. Though perhaps more rain, you never know. But
it was colder too. Well,
it was
cold.
Yeah.
Maybe not colder because it was pretty cold right here. Another check-in with Rachel Turton on hole 8.
Yep, on third card. It's super clean round. 1 under. Wow. She has so much power. She came out to the kind of the Oregon swing last year, Beaver State and Portland Open, which she's playing again this year, and she won Kona Peach Day Open over in Europe. She's someone we're going to see a lot more of. I'm happy to see some of these check-ins. What is this?
There's a lot of wind coming off of the field on the left-hand side.
Also primarily a tail, I'd say. Kind of tail left, right.
Henna struggling just to get to that gap, but
no way.
Wow. Just, this is insane.
Then just pipes it. That's, okay, so she was like 50 feet behind the tee pad, so that was like a solid 375 dead straight, I think.
Yes.
Oh, but then she misses the, I don't know what we just saw.
That was the most ridiculous bogey that hole has seen this weekend.
Yeah. We'll make a little ribbon for her.
Wow. The shot up the gut was crazy.
When I walk up to a shot, I'm looking for the target. I'm looking at obstacles around the target, specific landing zones. Confidence is everything, and the Edge Disc Golf Rangefinder gives me exactly that.
Hole 7, we'll see if we can do that a bit more calmly. It's a par 4, 552 feet. You can take the gap that the drone is flying. A lot of women going to take the hyzer and land just short of that tee pad, which is 325 feet. That's the old hole we used to play here a handful of years ago. This tunnel can be deadly if you choose to get aggressive and attack for birdie. This isn't a bad one to play for par, but I mean, that's not really why these ladies are on lead card, I suppose. It did play, I believe, as one of the hardest holes yesterday. Check out that wind whipping.
Yesterday, it was the 4th most difficult hole. Today, it's also the 4th most difficult hole.
Oh, cool. Silva taking the straight gap, which is definitely the more intimidating of the gaps with a neutron echo, and she is just a bit on the left side, but it's a really pretty shot.
Valerie also working the route that the drone flew, getting a nice reaction off the fence. She'll be right in the middle of the gap.
They're getting aggressive. Holyn, this is the more common play.
Yeah. I feel like on all of the holes at Northwood, you kind of just like pick which holes are going to be your, why not holes. Like, oh, why not? My layups aren't working. I guess I'm just going to send it.
Oh, no. Okay. That was a good final tree hit there.
And everyone's why not holes are going to be different. You see Holyn just laying up, everyone else just going big.
Such a pretty shape. A little early. Missy having trouble in these conditions and gets a pretty rough kick to the left side. Maybe Holyn's why not is this shot, though.
You can see how this fairway can get really long, really fast. Also, a reminder that Henna just threw this
from farther than here.
All the way there.
Which is crazy.
Valerie getting through a lot of that wooded right side. We'll see if she has a way out, though.
There's no way out.
It really feels like that sometimes.
Sometimes I swear the woods are whispering that to you when you're in there.
Missy and the honeysuckle.
Oh, man. Not able to fully pitch out. Holyn just taking her medicine, pitching to the middle. And a nice final upshot that's going to be another bogey for Holyn.
Missy with a really tricky fourth shot.
Lands outside the circle. Silva back to even par after that triple bogey on hole 2. So impressive after coming back and dealing with these rough conditions. Her putt is just looking amazing.
Yeah, Valerie behind a wall. She's really good at these shots, though. That was so impressive.
Wow. Really high level. Missy for a bogey save. Hits left side.
This is a tricky little green. It does drop off about 20 feet past the basket. Silva's so close to getting a par on this one.
First putting error we've seen from her today. What an amazing upshot and par save from Valerie.
She's really breaking this course down into pieces, and it is working, especially in these conditions. Missy really struggling on the front nine.
Yeah. Yeah, Valerie is just really good at the strategy of the game. Like, she really plays golf out there, you know?
Holyn not far off, but getting some pretty nasty kicks. Aggressive playing is not quite working, but she's recovering and keeping everything to single bogeys, which at Northwoods is surprisingly a good thing.
Yeah, it's still, once you get enough of them, you're like, all right.
Okay. There was only 2 birdies on hole 7. Stacy Ronsley and Haley King. That's awesome.
Rachel Turton 2 down through the front 9, enough to slide into a tie for 3rd.
Hole 8 is the most wide open hole of the day at 325. Still a low ceiling to deal with. You can go the way the drone flies on a flex line, or a lot of people take the hyzer line out to the right side of those trees and hopefully skipping in to this green. The basket's elevated with these decorative rocks around it. It's a really cool green, but can be challenging if it's windy or if you're just not feeling elevated baskets.
Valerie choosing the hyzer line with an ESP Onyx. That looks really good. Gets to about 28 feet. This one was nice. You didn't feel the wind quite as much. That is a little too high from Silva.
Pretty typical error on this hole.
What do you think, Spike hyzer?
I think Holyn goes deep in the woods.
That's looking great.
Oh, man.
I liked it.
Me too.
Didn't even see those branches.
Business Holyn.
Yeah.
is here today.
Some hardcore business. Like, the merger's not going well,
No.
you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Missy. Oh, cool play. Holyn skips over the decorative rocks. Look at that sun coming out. Not everything is terrible, right?
Yeah.
There's hope.
Maybe love is real.
Maybe love is real. Valerie for birdie.
Yes.
Oh, so good.
Smooth.
And she moves to 1 down on the round. So impressive in these conditions. Yesterday, we really didn't have any wind. It was pretty ideal. A little cold in the morning, but not bad at all. And the best rounds that we saw were 5 down and a handful of 4s. I think there were only, like, what, maybe 8 ladies under par? Something like that. Total. So to be under par out here at any moment feels great.
Missy just struggling a little bit on the green today. Guess every day can't be your day.
It can't all be big money all the time. Sometimes it could just be like a medium amount of money.
Yeah.
I was hoping the B-roll was her prancing off the tee pad after her good shot. Valerie 1 down, moves into solo first. Wrapping it up, hole 9, a previous hole of the Northwood's blue layout. OB on both sides. It's a par 4, 603 feet. You see forehands, you see backhand flex shots. You just want to land inbounds about 300 feet if you can. Split the hole in half. You don't usually see people get hyper aggressive trying to bite off a ton off the tee just because the OP is tighter than it looks. Second shot, you usually work the right side of the fairway and try to get on the green. Get a birdie.
Yeah, easy.
Easy. This one, I don't know. To me, this one doesn't feel easy, but it feels so gettable. It's only 600 feet.
Yeah, the tee shot is just the perfect shape, though, to be extremely challenging to attack on. You have to really trust either a flexing shot or a very, very gentle, straight to maybe right finishing shot. Silva's so good at that exact shot shape, and you can see her right in the middle, decently far. But a lot of problems you can run into is hyzering out on the left side out of bounds or turning one over right. That right side corner comes up surprisingly quickly. Holyn does a good job of eliminating both of those issues by keeping it low, but it's going to be a tough second shot for birdie.
Yeah, it is interesting to have a hole with a tee shot that looks kind of wide open, but realistically, your second shot is often longer than your first.
Yeah, and even though it looks wide open, the shape is very particular.
Yeah, and the ceiling is low, as you can see about 3/4 of the way down the shot. Holyn trying to keep it low, but it is too low.
I see a good bit of bogeys on hole 9 as well, and it's from this left side, trying to recover, people catching those trees and kicking OB left again or pushing that right side a little too hard. Missy navigates it really well. She doesn't try to get too aggressive. I am wrong. She's on the green.
Yeah, she just hit the angle perfectly and got the ground play. Silva way up here. Throwing standstill. Goes a little deep. About 25 feet for a birdie.
It's nice, though, they bubbled out the OB on the left side of the green, so you can afford to be more aggressive if you want. Is this where Valerie's tee shot landed?
Yeah.
God, that's so far.
Mm-hmm. It's like her upshot had some good pace on it. Does catch a tree and roll just a bit. Holyn's third. Just looking to put this thing close. Get off the bogey train. And she does.
Strangely, only 5 birdies on this one today. This is one that is reachable by everyone in the field, but to reiterate, very specific shots.
Nice. Valerie looking good on the putting green. Gets back-to-back birdies. Honestly, impressive at Northwood, period, especially today. Missy hits left side chains, falls out, looks pretty frustrated.
Holyn gonna take a par. Missy and Silva also going to have to settle for that to wrap up the front 9 of round 2.
Yeah, 7 hours in, probably only 2 to go.
One more check-in with Rachel Turton on hole 11, 2 holes ahead. Getting a little water action. She'll be inside the circle with a slightly downhill putt.
Wow. Strong looking putt.
Yeah, just
really
taking
round.
advantage, when she can to get those birdies. And that's what's so important at Northwood. It's not pushing too hard.
3 down through 11, though. She's doing some pushing. In solo third right now, Valerie taking the lead ahead of Silva. Scoggins sliding up with a 2 over on the round. Evelina sliding up with a 3 over. It's wild out there.
Yeah, just being around even par is good enough for a good time. Even 2 or 3 over is fine.
Yeah, look at Haiti Line, 1 down, moved up 8 spots. Holly Finley, 1 down through 13, has moved up 14 spots. Whoa.
Yeah, and we are moving into the back half of round 2. This is like moving day part 1, so come hang out and watch people slide up and down the leaderboard. Thanks again to the Founders Club. You guys rule. We got 9 more. We'll see you in a bit. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb, and we're the 2 Huckies.
Honk.